Did you see Saw?
Of course I see Saw. Moz and I see Saw all the time.
No, the movie. Did you see the movie Saw?
Oh, yeah. Great film. Almost as fun as going on a seesaw.
Oh, God. I do not want to play this game. We are talking about Saw 5.
No one's a winner here. Not even Jigsaw. I mean, he is actually, because he's dead and not really in this one at all. So
You know,
he is in it, but still.
so on that note, funny thing, God bless the internet. I found, I believe, on Reddit, of course, somebody did a spreadsheet of screen time for all of the characters across all the movies. And Saw 5, Jigsaw is dead. Tobin Bell is dead. He's still in the movie more than the first one or
Well,
the
obviously.
fourth one.
Yeah.
Or any of the sequels. He's in the movie for 11 minutes. He's in it just barely less than Saw 2. Saw 3 has the most. But...
Yeah, he's still dead, though, so I'm giving him a pass on how shitty this movie is. I know he's in it more than anybody because they can't ever since they killed him off, they don't know what to fucking do, so they're bringing him back. Is 5 the one? Is this the one where he's wearing the fucking baseball hat on backwards? And he's like trying to look young. And I'm like, what is this?
Oh, yeah, I think that's like one of the flashbacks. This movie has so many flashbacks.
Too many. And it flashes back. This and 6, I think. They both flash back to things that we saw like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do we need to be reminded about that? Are we all brain dead?
The weird thing about the flashbacks, I'm glad you brought this up, is so the whole movie is pretty much following is it Hoffman? Is he the new Saw, or is that the guy from Gilmore Girls? I forget their names.
He is
Strom.
Strom, yeah. Agent Strom, which I mean, I love Luke, but come on. These guys are working for the FBI. They are dumb as fuck. Anyways.
So it's like we're following Hoffman and Strom, and while Strom is like uncovering clues and stuff, we're getting flashbacks that Strom is not even a part of. Like, so it's like, so
you mean that Hoffman is, or Strom?
No, Strom. We the audience are experiencing flashbacks that Strom is not a part of while he's trying to figure out who Saw is, and it's like, wait, why are these aren't Strom's flashbacks because he's not in them. And
no, it's like, hey,
so
this is what
weird.
actually happened. But it's just to visually show that he's putting 2 and 2 together. And plus, don't they just love a fucking flashback? I mean, they got to bring Jigsaw back. So I feel like flashbacks become more and more relevant and happen more often.
Yeah.
The farther we get away from him dying in 3/4. You know,
they're like, we can't push the plot forward, so we're just gonna go back a lot.
We have to. I mean, the new one is literally going back to like between Saw 1 and 2 because there's just no way to go forward with this shit. The only ones that they've done with that haven't been well received. So,
like when
5 tries, but it sucks.
When I was watching 5, I was like, this is like a Family Guy episode where half of the episode is an actual plot, and then the other half is random cutaways.
I know, and it's like they don't understand. Like, I feel like studios always do this, where they don't get that. Like, the less that you know about the villain, the scarier they are. The more dimensions you add to him, he's not a gray character. Don't try and pretend that like he's actually a good guy. Oh, look, his baby died, or whatever the fuck. He was married. Like, I don't need to know that. He was dying, and he had his own fucked up agenda. That was enough. You know, the less that you saw of Jigsaw and the more mysterious he was more, I feel, more interesting. I still love him. I think he's a really great villain. But when I was watching this movie, I just felt like it reminded me of that quote from The Dark Knight that's like, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And that's what I feel like is like what has happened to this franchise.
Totally.
They are now the problem when they were so fucking great and unique in the first place. And that's the only thing that was going through my brain watching this movie.
Yeah. This one was a real low point. But let's go through the traps. I was especially disappointed because I thought the first trap, the pendulum, I thought that was a great trap. I
agree.
I thought that was really good. I'm like, okay, this could be all right, and then it really just goes downhill. But
Just because it's like, well, also I don't like these traps that's like started since Saw 3 where it's like no matter what you do, you're fucked. So that's why this movie, especially, I think I finally like have confirmed that like if I wake up in a Saw trap, I'm just sitting there. I'm not fucking doing shit. I don't want to live through that. I don't want to half-ass it and then die terribly after I've already fucking mutilated myself. You know what I mean? That feels like what happens. And like this guy actually does everything. And then I just feel like they show the fucking scenes for so goddamn long. It's like, do we need to watch it this much? I get it though. It's really just a special effects showcase at this point. And I will say, that's the best thing about these movies is the practical effects. They still look really real, like just as they did back then compared to anything CGI. So I will say that's great. Also, I was excited when I first saw this that Rita from Dexter was in this, but this was like right after she got, spoiler alert, if you fucking haven't watched Dexter, you idiot. She dies, and this was like the first thing that she did after it, and I was like, really? Saw
Rita.
5? Come on, girl, you could do better than that.
Poor Rita.
And I don't buy her as this like bitchy chick, you know. She's fucking Rita, okay. Anyways, let's go through the traps because I forgot all of them except for that one because I did think that's actually my second worst, I think, for totals because we're ranking like which ones are the worst.
Yeah, okay, so that's the worst death, not a bad trap, but just worst death.
Yeah, I would say it's like the worst as in like I'm ranking the traps and how disgusting they are. So I would say that's my runner up for worst trap like to be in. I think there's another one that's worse, but that one is a close fucking second because crushing your hand sucks, and then fucking the saw, it's basically
slowly.
It's like that fucking Edgar Allan Poe story, the pit and the pendulum, and I'm always like, nope, that does not sound. That sounds really slow and annoying. So no thanks.
I just want to clarify what worst means because we've already said several times this is the worst Saw. So
sorry, we're talking about like this as actually a shitty movie, but like we're ranking the traps for me worse, like how gross it is or how much I want to kill myself watching it.
Yeah. So then
it goes up slightly.
So then the next trap was Strom gets captured and gets put into the water cube. And I had a big problem with the setup for this because Saw has it at this point, like
his name is Jigsaw, by the way. I feel like you're disrespecting him every time you just shorten it to Saw. It's like fucking Jigsaw, okay?
sorry. So what do we call Hoffman? Because he's not Jigsaw.
We just call him that fucking fucker that we don't give a shit about. Who? That's what I'm gonna say every time you mention his name. Do we even care? I don't care.
So my big problem is that the way that they catch Strom is he gets trapped in the room from Saw 3. Hoffman closes the door, and then he finds the secret door, and then hanging in the secret door is a tape recorder for Strom. And I'm like, okay, so at this point, we're just like, this is like Inception of like, we've had this planned before anything else that's
a trap within a trap within a trap. Like this is literally like we're going like all these layers deep. Like I think this is where the whole fucking series goes into oblivion. Yeah, and you never come back from it, or infinity, or whatever that was, where they end up on the beach, like in that movie. That's literally it, because it's like we're too far deep. I can't go that far. I don't want to go that far. My fucking brain is scrambled watching these, trying to figure out how they all connect. I love a good twist ending, and I'm glad that they keep it, but like at this point, I don't care. Fuck it. Yeah. And the way that they catch like Strom in there, it's just like, yeah, who's pulling these strings? It sounds like they all had their hands full with the 4 other traps that were going on at this time. Yeah. Like, there's like 15, and they even had the fucking detective guy from the 4th one going through his whole shit. Yeah. I don't know how it's tracking. It does not, honestly, but whatever at this point.
And then it's weird also because, they hook Strom up to the water cube for him to drown. And, you would have to imagine that Hoffman went through his pockets and stuff, and he leaves a pen in his pocket. And so it's like, was this supposed to be the way out, that he doesn't give any of his other victims?
I just feel like Hoffman is a lazy piece of shit, and he's just like really not giving a fuck. Like I feel like he didn't check his pockets. He's just like, fuck it, this guy's not gonna get out. He's stupid.
Like,
He followed me here without any fucking backup. I think I'm good to just fucking lock him in a cage and fill it up with water. Like, but I love this trap, and I like that he gets out of it because he's really smart. However, like, it's just, what a fucking dick move. I just don't like these things. I didn't like it when Amanda did it, and I don't like it when this fucker's doing it. If there's no escape, it's not a real Jigsaw trap. You know, it doesn't feel like a real Jigsaw thing. And I don't know. I guess the one thing that I thought I really liked about this movie was the group dynamic coming back, because I liked that too, but it's still not that great. I kind of enjoyed the twist, but again, I felt like that was pretty fucking obvious, and they were all idiots.
Yeah, I agree. I did like the twist, but you're right. Like, it was so obvious.
Like, are you guys? He literally said, "Go against your your instincts," and it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna fucking make sure that I kill someone every group. Like, they all turn on each other. It's like, obviously, we should be working together and like realize this shit. It's like, obviously, and then like when they go into a lot of the places where they're safe, it's like more than one person can obviously fit in there.
Yeah, they can fit in the tube.
There's like 5-6 of you could guys fit in there. Like, you guys are fine. You know what I mean?
Or it's like Rita, she, after the first trap, we'll call it the necktie trap, where someone gets pulled into the thing.
That was fucked.
That was fucked. That was also one of those like better ways to go. You know, because you die instantly. It's but it's like she collects all of the keys. So it's like, all right, so you're the person that would gather up all the keys just in case, but you're not the person that would try the key on another lock. Like,
exactly,
hey, I'm
right?
out. Take my key, see if it works.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just these idiots. I mean, I know you're in a trap, but like, come on, people. At this point, it's like you're rooting for. This is like, I think when you start rooting for Jigsaw, and you're not rooting for the people in the traps, because like, I mean, even the next one, it's like an insurance bad guy. So it's like, at this point, I feel like is the big shift. Like, all these people are bad people.
Yeah.
And like, it's obvious from the way that they treat each other, but also like, that's the whole reveal at the end, that they were all in some big scheme and burned a building down with people in it. Like, I don't give a fuck. Also, and you guys were like, I knew you were shitty already. Like, this isn't a surprise. Anyways.
Also, real quick, back on how stupid these FBI agents. I just remembered.
Thank you.
During the pendulum trap, like when they find the site and the guy's like, oh, that's the guy who killed my sister or whatever. And the other cops are just like, oh, look at that. You must
feel pretty good.
You must be happy about that outcome. Like,
I know. And it's like, how is Jigsaw the only one who fucking knew that wasn't him? Aren't they also like FBI? Like, there's fucking, okay, maybe it was just his detectives, but when the FBI come and look at that, they should be like, huh, like, I feel like everything here is not the same as like Jigsaw. They don't find that out till the next movie or some shit. But it's like, and also, why the fuck is Strom working this case alone? Would it hurt for one person to call for backup? I mean, come on. You don't think like all the cops are on his side in the next one? Like, just fucking call somebody. Tell someone where you're going.
Well, they essentially use the motivation of Briggs in the last movie, of he's obsessed with his partners getting killed. They use that again in this one, because his partner got blown up in the face.
Whatever, though.
She comes back in the next movie. But
yeah.
But it's like they use that same motivation again. And yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like,
exactly. It does not make any fucking sense at all. But, you know, here we are.
Yeah, here we are.
So what are the other forgettable traps in this movie? Because I feel like the last one is the one that I remember, and then all of the ones in between are terrible.
So the next one is the worst trap in the entire franchise. Not like, worst like shitty? It's hardcore. Like, it's just it's so stupid. Dumb. It's the one with the jars in the ceiling.
Yeah.
And like, they just have to break them, find the key, and then get into these very large tubes that obviously fit other people. But they just immediately start hitting each other with sticks, and then they're like, "Oh, I got the key."
What are these fucking cavemen? Like, where did you get these people? I feel like they have no brains, and this is when you're like, okay, yeah, you guys fucking suck. They forgot that, like, in the first movie, like, yeah, Adam and Dr. Gordon, they weren't fucking perfect, but like they still had redeeming qualities and you rooted for them. Because also, like, that was a shitty situation. Nobody deserves that. The more that we're going on in this franchise, it's more about punishing shitty people, which is fine. But like, I mean, I guess if that's your fucking kink, it's not mine.
And in this one, it's just them punishing each other.
That's what I'm saying. They're just like doing his job for them. It's like, this isn't, it's like, this is just stupid. Anyways, let's go back to the traps. Let's just keep on tracking.
We're just going to plow through this because, we're not going to give
this. All the traps in the rooms are not good, like, and memorable, like Saw 2. I feel like Saw 2, those were all pretty horrifying ways to go or things to be stuck in.
Yeah, like this goes back to the Saw house model, but does it so much worse.
Yeah, the traps just aren't original. I feel like they use those jars with shit in them like 3 times too.
Yeah. And so and so then the next one is the electric bathtub, where they kill the girl, throw her in the bathtub, and just start clipping things to her.
I'm like, wow, okay. And again, but also like, I don't know I'm not into science and shit. So I wouldn't be like, what if we shared the electricity? Like, I wouldn't know to do that. But like, I mean, it's just crazy that these people are just such idiots that they like, I mean, this is Saw 5. So they must have heard about Jigsaw. And like, I would imagine that like, if I knew that Jigsaw was on the fucking loose, first off, I would tie up any of my loose ends, make sure I'm living on the up and up. But I would prepare for like, he knows, like, if I get captured by him, I got to do the right thing. I can't just do whatever I think, because that's why I'm here, right? Idiots. They're just saying that they should have fucking heard like 18,000 stories of people getting kidnapped and tortured and dead now from Jigsaw. And they're like, what do we do? And that's the thing is like, when someone's like, haven't you guys watched the news? Jigsaw's dead. It's like, well, clearly not.
So then we get to the final trap in the house. The 10 pints of sacrifice.
That one's actually pretty like gnarly.
Yeah, this one is definitely the most memorable because it's the most like Saw-like of all of them.
It's literally like cutting their hands on saws. I just don't like that they go like in between the fingers. Like, I would just maybe start from the top and like kind of go down and maybe, I don't know, but I just don't, between the fingers, I'm like, that feels like paper cut territory. That would hurt really extra bad.
The thing that made me mad about this is they figured out what the trap was. They figured out what they have to do before they closed the door. Why did they not go back and take the girl's body that they just murdered?
That is smart.
And just put her in piece by piece.
Yeah, you're right. Well, then they wouldn't have learned anything. They didn't
learn anything to begin with.
But that's the thing I've learned with these things. It's like by the end, some of these fuckers are like, I need to do this because I deserve to be here. These fuckers end up learning that like, yeah, maybe I am shitty. That's really all that like in the later movies. I feel like that's more of the thing, whereas it's like the earlier ones are more like what Jigsaw wanted, which is like, I appreciate my life and I'm going to do better. But now it's like, I was a shitty person, so I deserve to die horribly or be tortured or whatever, They're like, fuck it, we're bad. I'm going to do this and I'm going to be like, I just don't know. I feel like it's weird. It's like they want to be punished by the end. I don't like it.
It was just so weird. Yeah, and like how
they'd be dead, right?
I mean, you're supposed to be able to live.
I didn't check the math that they give you, but I don't know if it holds up. It is Saw 5.
I don't know how you survive that trap and then also call the ambulance and
yeah, exactly. And then also I really just don't like that. Yeah, when they're done with that, their hands like kind of fall apart, like vertical, like hot dog cut. I'm like, ugh, that was gnarly. I mean, it looked good, but like, ugh. I wouldn't say that that's my worst though in the movie. That is up there, but it's definitely not second. I think that goes to the pendulum.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I was just so mad.
To the last one.
I was just so mad. I'm like, you just grab the body from the previous room, you stick in one limb at a time, and you're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
But they're stupid and they just cut their hands up.
I mean, whatever. Yeah, they're dumb. You're right, though. That would have been the fucking smart thing to do. But again, that wouldn't have been tracking with their character development up to that point.
I mean, based off the group logic up to this point, those two should have fought each other to the death and then shoved limb by limb of
That's
the
what
dead
I
one.
would have done. Yeah, by the end, we should work together. Like, a little too late, bitch. I would be like, fuck you. Where was that? Like 5 minutes ago, you guys were ready to cut each other's throat.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Another one that's listed is the shotgun chair for Hoffman, which it's not even a trap. It's just him strapped to a chair, and there wasn't even a bullet in there, so it doesn't even matter.
I don't even remember that, so perfect.
It was the flashback. It's the one trap that
that he's with Jigsaw alone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
I
dumb.
gotcha. Yeah, that wasn't even a fucking. And then I just, we'll talk about it for the next one because that's when it really makes sense. But let's talk about the last trap / the twist, right? Because they kind of go together, which is a stupid fucking twist.
Yeah, the glass coffin.
That's my worst death, being crushed to death, I think, for sure. That's the worst. That's one of the worst in the series. I think it's worse than the 1 in 3 where they break the bones.
The twister?
Yeah, the twister. I think it's worse than the twister.
They put all the budget into the bones popping out. Like, yeah, it
was upsetting. Yeah,
it's
very
it's
graphic.
rough.
But like the twist that like, Hoffman was framing him. It's like, well, no fucking shit. I mean, that was like what you were doing the whole movie. It was obvious. He was literally like, and also, first off, it's like, thank you for bringing up the idiots at the cops, the FBI, all of them. Why the fuck is this guy just going around, not telling anyone what he's up to? I know his voice is all fucked up, but like he's stealing files and like acting suspicious when they're like on to like, someone's probably in the department. If he's like a Jigsaw apprentice, he's probably already working to frame me. This guy plans fucking shit ahead.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so then also, it doesn't really make sense though. Like this whole plan that he has, like that's my whole issue. It's like, it doesn't make sense for Strom to be Jigsaw. He just showed up. It's not like he's been here since the beginning. He just showed up in the last movie. Like how was he Jigsaw before he even showed up? You know?
I mean,
Hoffman's been working this case forever. They said it's someone with fucking on the inside.
Yeah.
All of his buddies are dead, and he's now the hero. I would say that's your number one fucking suspect. And I don't know why Strom is the only one that notices that.
Well, I think, because it was not very clear, but I think the setup was that Strom was Jigsaw because Strom was the agent that investigated the fire of the building
in Saw 5.
Yeah.
But they've been on to the fact that there was an apprentice in Saw 3. So like that's, I mean, just saying that like it's not like he just showed up, and he showed up literally like the same when Jigsaw was like in the hospital getting brain surgery. So he wasn't even in town when like Jigsaw was fucking alive.
Yeah.
How the fuck? It's not like they were pen pals or some shit, and that he taught him everything by email. Like I don't think that it makes any sense that anyone would believe it. I would go, this seems like maybe he's being framed, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It's pretty fucking stupid.
Okay, so I'm going to rank the traps on this movie a 3 out of 5. They get that 3 because of the crushed to death and the pendulum, I think.
Okay, I think that's fair.
And that's 3 for like grossness, not like, cool, inventive. No, they're getting a 0 for that. The twist, I would put a 1 Saw out of 5. That was a lame ass twist.
So, like, what was the twist? That he was framing him the whole time.
That's what I'm saying. I said this is a stupid twist. It's fucking doesn't make any sense. I had to read the fucking plot summary after I saw the movie to make sure that I understood everything. And I was like, that is not a twist. That doesn't track with any of the endings.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, it was bad. And the other thing that annoyed me is they showed the glass coffin in a flashback, and it was something that Jigsaw made. So again, this goes back to, so was Jigsaw planning this trap way long ago?
I think he probably just
did
maybe
did Hoffman take that thing and he's like, he never got to use this in a trap? And
yeah, that's a very interesting point actually, because my thing is like I always thought that like Jigsaw tailors the trap towards whatever he wants the person to learn and like what their sin is or whatever. So like that's what I always thought, but maybe he just like fucking makes a bunch of crazy ass shit and like goes, well, figure out what to do with this. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but it's just a coffin with broken glass. That'll
Yeah.
come in handy one day. I might use it for who knows what. But it's like, I guess it worked. I don't know.
Yeah, it was so
Not
weird.
inventive, not a good twist. Overall, probably the worst Saw. And I don't know. I need
would
to
say
watch the later
easily.
ones.
I would
But
say easily the
the
worst
worst,
Saw.
yeah. Like
Yeah.
6 is not great, but it's better than this.
Yeah, I actually I liked 6 more than I remembered.
Me too. It's not as bad.
And the director, sorry, David Hackle, not a fan of
You're
your
a
work
fucking
on
hack.
this one.
I'm kidding. No, it was probably the studio. Let's go back to our positive energy. But also, you should really explain yourself. I need to know what's up. At this point, though, they were just doing it for the. I mean, they're greenlighting one of these a fucking year at this point. So
Yeah.
they
Like
want the money.
I felt like the point of this movie was just to be an origin story for Hoffman.
Is
And
this also when the wife comes in too? Or was she in 4?
I mean, I can't remember which one
I
she
can't
was.
even remember,
I
but
mean,
I don't care about her character.
I think she
Jill
was
or whatever.
I think she was maybe seen in this or in 4, like briefly, like it was 4 because that's when they showed the scene where she gets the door bashed into her.
And then they
That
show it again in this one and Saw 6 and like
Yeah.
every fucking one until we die. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, I just felt like this is an origin story. Like I don't
That
even have
nobody asked for.
like I don't even have like an ending comparison like I've done for the other movies because I'm
I
just like
think we should just end this.
this is it.
We should cut it shorter because this is what they should have done with Saw 5. It's just they should have fucking stopped while they were ahead.
Wrap it up and we'll be back with Saw 6.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out here.